Welcome back to Two Wheel Trends, the home of real-world motorcycle reviews with no sugarcoating, just honest thoughts from the saddle. Today, we've got a brand new player from Honda that's caught a lot of attention for all the right reasons. Say hello to the 2025 Honda CB500 Rebel. This isn't just a refresh of an already beloved middleweight cruiser, it's a bolder, smarter, and more refined evolution that manages to balance modern edge with classic soul. If you've ever looked at the Rebel series and thought, almost there, but not quite, this year's CB500 Rebel might be the one to change your mind. The first thing that grabs your attention is the visual update. Honda has taken cues from both the urban bobber aesthetic and modern naked bike aggression. Up front, the CB500 Rebel introduces a redesigned LED headlamp cluster, now slightly more compact but sharper, with the new multi-beam layout that gives it a piercing glare even when idle. The DRLs outline the lamp in a cool, angular silhouette, giving it a more premium look and making it instantly recognizable, even from a distance. Honda's signature attention to detail means the lighting isn't just for show, it's functional, offering increased visibility and throw, especially during night rides or cloudy weather conditions. Moving down, the forks are beefier than before. Real 41mm Showa SFFBP USD forks now come standard, painted in a sleek anodized black finish that adds to the aggressive front profile. These aren't just about looks, they bring legitimate improvements to handling and front-end feedback. The front fender hugs the 17-inch alloy wheel nicely, finished in matte graphite with minimal branding. The tire itself has been upgraded to a slightly wider 130 section, offering better road grip and a sturdier stance without compromising the agility the CB series is known for. Shifting to the side profile, the bike maintains its low-slung cruiser posture, but this year's model gets refined lines and a subtly reworked frame. The signature peanut-style tank still sits proudly up top, but it now has cleaner seams and a smoother transition into the seat line. The tank capacity remains at a usable 15.7 liters, giving you plenty of range for city commutes and short touring stints alike. There's a new brushed aluminum finish on the tank badge, a subtle but classier, and the whole silhouette just looks tighter. Nothing feels slapped on or excessive. The seat design has been altered to add more lumbar support while keeping the seat height accessible at around 690mm, making it perfect for shorter riders without compromising comfort for taller ones. The step-up pillion seat flows more naturally into the fender now, and the subframe has been subtly reshaped to accommodate better passenger ergonomics. It's still a solo rider's bike in spirit, but two-up journeys won't be out of the question. Lower down, you'll notice more changes in the exhaust layout. The new twin-port muffler sits closer to the body, giving the Rebel a more compact footprint and allowing a deeper lean angle without scraping. The muffler also gets a refreshed finish, a more matte ceramic than shiny chromia, giving it a more rugged appearance. This year's model also gets redesigned side panels that are slimmer and add to the bike's streamlined vibe. At the rear, Honda's kept things minimal and functional. The taillight is an all-new smoked LED unit that's smaller but brighter, framed by bullet-style LED indicators. The rear fender has been trimmed just slightly to enhance the exposed rear wheel look, but it still keeps enough coverage to protect against road spray. The license plate bracket and reflector have been reworked to sit tighter against the fender, making the back of the bike look neater overall. When you throw a leg over the 2025 CB500 Rebel, the ergonomics immediately strike a balance between cruiser ease and urban command. The handlebars are set wide and slightly back, giving that laid-back feel, but not so much that you lose connection with the front end. Foot pegs remain in the mid-control zone, which is ideal for both relaxed riding and spirited cornering. Everything you touch, levers, grips, switchgear, feels premium, even if it's not necessarily flashy. Now, let's talk about the heart of the Machinery, the 471cc parallel twin. This engine has seen steady refinements over the years, and in 2025 it gets subtle but impactful updates. Power figures remain close to 47 horsepower and 43 Nm of torque, but improved EQ mapping and revised intake flow make the bike feel more responsive across the rev range. The engine is liquid-cooled and remains A2 license compliant in many regions, which means it's still a favorite for newer riders who want something approachable yet capable of long-term satisfaction. Throttle response is smoother this year thanks to a new ride-by-wire system that replaces the older mechanical setup. This allows for more precise modulation, and it opens the door for selectable ride modes. Yes, Honda has finally included two ride modes on the CB500 Rebel, Standard and Sport. In Standard, the bike is mellow, forgiving, and perfect for urban traffic. Sport sharpens things up noticeably as it remaps throttle response, allows for higher RPM shifts, and livens up to the mid-range pull. It's not a rocket, but for middleweight twin, the Sport mode brings out the engine's playful side. The 6-speed gearbox remains slick and reliable, but now comes with a slip-and-assist clutch as standard. This makes downshifting smoother, especially during aggressive deceleration, and reduces hand fatigue in stop-and-go traffic. The gearing has been slightly altered for better torque delivery in first and second gear, making urban starts more confident and less jerky. Braking sees a meaningful upgrade too. Dual 296mm discs up front are now gripped by radial mount Nissan calipers, and a single 240mm disc sits at the rear. The brake feel is more progressive and confidence-inspiring this year, especially with the inclusion of Honda's updated dual-channel ABS system. It's tuned well and not too intrusive, but always there when you need it, especially on wet or uneven surfaces. The chassis itself feels tighter thanks to tweaks in frame rigidity and revised suspension damping. Combined with the upgraded forks and a new preload adjustable rear shock, the 2025 CB500 Rebel carves through city corners with a surprising amount of agility. On the highway, it remains planted and composed. Wind resistance is, of course, present. This is a naked bike after all, but the optional fly screen accessory helps cut some of it at higher speeds if you want a bit more touring capability. Speaking of accessories, Honda offers a new lineup of factory add-ons that fit the Rebel's vibe perfectly. You've got options like soft saddlebags, a minimalist rear rack, engine guards, a cafe-tilde copyright-style cowl, and even a new Bluetooth-enabled dash upgrade for those who want navigation and media controls. The stock digital LCD dash is clear and functional, showing speed, gear position, fuel, and trip meters, but if you want more tech, Honda's got you covered this year. Fuel economy remains impressive for the segment, averaging around 28 to 30 km/L depending on your riding habits and load. That means with the 15.7-liter tank, you're looking at around 400 to 450 kilometers of range on a full tank. For commuters and weekend warriors alike, that's a serious plus. Pricing for the 2025 CB500 Rebel is competitive as always. In most markets, it lands just a notch above the entry-level 300s but remains significantly more affordable than the 650 class cruisers. In the U.S., you're looking at around $7,199 MSRP, with slight regional variations depending on local taxes and dealer fees. That places it in a sweet spot, accessible for new riders, but not so basic that veterans will get bored. And that's really where this bike shines. The 2025 CB500 Rebel is more than the sum of its parts. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's not a high-revving sport bike, it's not a full-fat tourer, and it's not trying to compete with heavy cruisers. What it is, though, is a well-built, thoughtfully designed, and damn fun motorcycle that hits that rare middle ground between ease of use and genuine satisfaction. It's the kind of bike you can grow with. You might start out commuting on it, then take it on longer weekend rides, maybe even throw some saddlebags on and head out for an overnighter. It adapts to your needs without asking you to compromise on style, reliability, or character. So, who is this bike for? If you're a new rider looking for your first real motorcycle that doesn't feel like a compromise, the CB500 Rebel is an easy recommendation. If you're a returning rider who wants something low maintenance but engaging, this bike fits the bill. Even seasoned motorcyclists who already have a big touring machine or a dirt bike might find themselves wanting something like the Rebel for short hops and city fun. It's a versatile, stylish, and rewarding ride in just about any context. And with that, we wrap up today's deep dive into the 2025 Honda CB500 Rebel. We've taken it through the streets, pushed it a little in the twisties, and lived with it for enough time to say this confidently: Honda has refined something good into something great. If you're in the market for a mid-weight cruiser that doesn't scream for attention but turns your respect over time, this is one worth test riding. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this review, subscribe if you haven't already for more real-world motorcycle content, and let us know in the comments what do you think of the 2025 Rebel. Would you pick it over something like the Kawasaki Vulcan S or the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650? We'd love to hear your thoughts.